So this week's chapter and topic was over the concept of appropriate technology, and appropriate technology encompasses a lot of aspects of technology, like in the way, or I'll start off by saying that the main criteria for assessing appropriate technology is like weighing the the trade-offs in the in the exchange of technology, and that can come in the way of that it has more positive the positive impacts of its implementation and creation or whatever, um, outweighs the negative unforeseen consequences that we have to deal with, because we've talked about this in the past, how technology inherently just comes with a bit of trade-offs when it comes to stuff like that. But um, appropriate technology can be assessed in a lot of different ways. For example, like you just have to take in a lot of um, concepts when evaluating evaluating appropriate technology, because there's a lot of factors that can go into it. There's the cultural factors, how it can be integrated into a culture based on their beliefs, the religious beliefs, the political beliefs, like how trade within that country works. Uh, like if the technology it comes into play with the ideas of technology transfer, just in how like they can be applied to a certain society just due to societal limitations, which could just like, I mean, it can range from like a million different things. And um one thing um that segued into this chapter was the idea of more sustainable living with the products that we have, like looking to find a um, well, they call it renewable energy, but in power industry or whatever, they're actually considered like inexhaustible um, fuels of energy, and how we can apply those rather than using like more damaging fossil fuels, and how that can like affect the balance of just the impact that we're making as a community, how we can implement like solar energy, like through the use of photovoltaic cells, like uh solar panels, how we can have um hydroelectricity. We can get ocean power, like the tidal power, um the ocean thermal power, and I think wave power, but I'm not sure if I missed one there. And just how that can like be better, that those can be better, more inexhaustible, um more inexhaustible forms of energy that we can implement into our grids. How how there's even more renewable sources of energy, like biomass, and biomass is like wood, or just stuff that we can replenish over time, that we could favorably use instead of just stuff like coal and fossil fuels to power our electrical grids. Um, they also talked about like smart growth, like uh, smart growth, and like green buildings, how like we can use like a different philosophy when it comes to building cities, or like larger towns or buildings like that, and how we can better utilize the space, um and how communities and cities are now starting to reclaim certain buildings that just take up a lot of space, and how that land can be reclaimed and put into better use, and it can be like change to better sustain the community with the use of a park, if it's just like a big old building sitting there, how like we can develop like walkable cities, walkable towns, how we can better utilize public transportation and increase the quality of air and water quality, like through a lot of different means, like using hybrid cars that can use electric and regular fossil fuels to power themselves. Uh, we can use different building materials, like we can use like renewable forms of like straw bales. Um, dang, I can't really remember the stuff the rest, but it's stuff like that, and how we can even do stuff like sustainable agriculture, how we can form ways to where farmers can increase their farm profitability. They can actually improve their environment and equality, like increase just their quality of life in general. There's a lot of different ways that you can better like analyze and like inspect the land that they're maintaining with the use of better technology, and how like stuff like pesticides and stuff like that can come into play, how farmers now they can get like data on individual grids of their like grids of their acres and stuff, and they can see like the fertilizer content, like the where fertilizer is needed, where it's not needed, and they can better like allocate resources to those spaces. How we can do like pest control management rather than just straight up like dousing our our farms full of pesticides and stuff, and like like um like and how dang, let me how instead of using like like one for pesticide that, for example, would kill like a list of like 50 something animals, we can better inspect our land and try and figure out ways to maintain the pest population in it, and only like allocate certain pesticides to acres, or to accommodate like the fact that we have one intrusive pest in our in our farmland, rather than just straight up just dousing it and filling it full of chemicals, and stuff like the ISO 14000, how how it's a like a set of standards of like nationally that is leading to reductions in energy and material and waste, and improving public image and stuff like that through a bunch of different trade agreements, and like just giving companies a better idea of what they can and can't do, like when it comes to um, trying to manage um, profits, and at the same time like not completely taking advantage and destroying the environment just in the what should I call it, in the race to like get a couple nickels and dimes here and there, and how we can like better maintain our environment by putting certain regulations on manufacturers and factories to at least minimize the damage that we're proving to our environment. And yeah.